Oh my god, so fizzy. Hey guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. I'm BC Brewella. You're more than welcome to call me Robin if you prefer. I'm just gonna turn down the Petite Biscuit. I've kind of been obsessed with them lately. Just really good music, just kind of vibe out to and get myself into a good headspace to stare at a camera and talk to the internet. I posted yesterday on my Instagram that I finally got the first episode of BC Brewella up on YouTube, which if you're watching this episode, you probably are already aware of that. But basically last night, got the chance to enjoy an amazing saison from Steel and Oak Brewing, record that video and just kind of do a little bit of editing here and there and just kind of throw it online and kind of see the reaction that I got from it. And just went to sleep, and this morning when I woke up, I actually got like more views than I thought it was going to, which is really exciting. And I also woke up to a message from someone who I guess had been following my Instagram channel, and he tuned in for my beer review on YouTube, so thank you. I don't know if you guys want me calling out people's names on the internet. If you do, if you shoot me a message with like a suggestion, and I'm definitely willing to give you guys a little shout out on the channel, but for today I won't, because I didn't really get an answer from him as to whether he was okay with me mentioning his name. But basically he is the mind behind another BC Anon for beer. And he reached out to me. He's like, hey, I've been seeing what you've been doing with your Instagram page, and I think it's really cool. It's going to be great to have another person doing some reviews on BC beer. But who are you? You kind of came out of nowhere, and I haven't seen you really at any of the beer events and things like that going on around BC. So I wanted to kind of make I guess a welcome video for you guys, because those of you that are in the BC beer world, it makes total sense that you have no idea who I am, because I am very new. But also to kind of give a little bit of my background, I guess, for anybody watching this channel, just to kind of get to know me. You're going to be staring at me for every episode that you tune into, and I hope that the content that I can put together for this video or this channel will be stuff that you're interested in. Again, any messages I get as far as suggested breweries, suggested releases, please send them my way. I will be more than happy to track down those beers and get an episode up here covering them. Shouting out to the person that did send me that message. I promise there is an episode with Four Winds Beer coming up. I've been so excited about everything those guys have been putting out the past couple months. So yes, there will be an episode coming up on Four Winds very, very soon. But I guess welcome to BC Brewella. I kind of mentioned in my first episode yesterday that my goal for this YouTube channel, as well as the Instagram page, is to really kind of serve as a forum for people to talk about BC beer. I feel like a lot of times when people think of craft beer, we're in the middle of hop mecca out here. So they think Portland and they think Seattle and the Yakima Valley, and that's really, really great. They are fantastic beer markets. But I don't think that people give enough credit to the guys brewing beer just a little bit farther north, up above the border. You guys have breweries up here that, by comparison, in my opinion, are making a point to put an innovative spin on traditional beer styles that you would see coming out of Europe, which is great. Making a point to make sure that their portfolios are really well-rounded. It is kind of a disappointment for me that I understand breweries will have their niche, that one thing that they do really, really well and that they love doing, and nothing against that. But I do feel like sometimes breweries have a tendency to maybe pigeonhole themselves into brewing one style of beer. which for the average person walking in off the street into your brew pub might not be their thing. They might be someone who is usually a Pilsner drinker, and I mean, maybe the only thing that they ever drink before was Molson. So how cool would it be for you to have a couple takes on some more traditional style Pilsners to offer them? And that's something that I'm seeing in the BC breweries that I can really appreciate, that I love. And so this whole channel is going to be geared towards helping to raise awareness about you guys and all the cool stuff you are doing. A little bit about me. Like I said, my name's Robin. I'm 27. I'm going to be 28 in a couple weeks. I am a transplant to the Pacific Northwest. I grew up in upstate New York. The only thing we really make over there is wine and cows. And to be honest, I'm out of my element when it comes to wine. I have never in my life tasted burnt cigar or like worn leather armchair in any wine that I've ever tasted. Maybe my palate is just not evolved enough for wine, but it seems to be evolved enough for beer. I'm also a level 2 certified Cicerone, considering going for certification for BJCP, and also thinking about entering that lottery for level 3 Cicerone. It's going to be a ton of work, but I think it would definitely be really good as far as the beer and food pairing side for me, really educational. So thinking about doing that in the next little bit here. But coming from upstate New York, about 2 years ago, I got the chance to move to Seattle and work for a large beer company. I'll throw it out there. I worked for the big guys, but in their craft division. And the one thing I can say about working for large beer companies is when it comes to something like craft, they do really great job of making sure that the people who work for them are educated on their product. So that was how I was able to study to go and get my Cicerone. And I learned so much, especially just being in Seattle. Anybody that you walk up to on the street knows something about brewing. There's a very good chance. And so I got to see a whole new side of craft beer that you don't get in upstate New York. And during that time, traveling back and forth up to Vancouver nearly every weekend, I also got to kind of see what was going on in your beer scene up here. And it just clicked with me. There's nothing pretentious about it. There's everything artistic about it. I know it's really corny to kind of say like, oh, beer is liquid art. I truly believe that that's what it is. You're taking a vision someone has in their head. They're looking at a bag of hops and some water and some yeast and malt and figuring out, how am I going to combine this into what I want this thing in my head to taste like. And it's such a labor of love to take those 4 ingredients and whatever adjuncts you're using and whatever kind of yeast you decide to use and go through the brewing process and end up with this final product that really is something that you've been working on for a couple weeks or maybe even a couple years if you're doing some kind of barrel aging. So it's a labor of love and art that I don't think people can always really notice when they're out walking around just in a store and seeing a row of beers up on a wall. They're looking at, all right, well, what sounds good, but not realizing that's someone's baby, that's someone's shining piece of art sitting up on a shelf. So I really want to pay homage to people that are creative enough to make that kind of art. I myself honestly don't ever see myself doing any kind of brewing, but what I can do is help to build a platform where we can all appreciate the kind of art that you guys are putting out. So like I said, please reach out to me with any kind of suggestion as far as breweries, as far as releases. If you're looking for information on styles, if you're looking for any info on where I learned any of the things that I'm saying in my videos. A couple books. I'm really big into brewing literature. I do have the Beer Bible from our good friend Randy Mosier, tasting beer, for anyone that's looking to take the Cicerone exam. This will be your Bible. I read it front to back to front. The binding is like like I definitely read that book more than I read any of my college textbooks, which might be a little concerning. And then I just picked up a book on American sours from Michael Tonsmere, so I'm gonna give that a read. If you guys are looking for any suggestions on where to go and get some education, or maybe even just where to go and find some of the beers that I am sampling, I'm more than happy to provide a little comment box down below and let you know where to go and track those down so you guys can taste them at home and give me your feedback. I'd love to hear it. But thank you so much. This is my welcome video. This is my thank you video. Thank you for giving me the chance to have someone to talk to about all of the things going on in my head when I'm drinking a beer. And I hope you guys enjoy it. And I hopefully will put out a lot more episodes for you guys going forward, all right?